Hello and welcome to Ring Takes. We are back. I was sick last week, but we're back. We're back. We're back this week after action pack week of wrestling and Monday Night Raw wrestling, SmackDown moving to USA. Big things happening, but plain and simple, WWE has been cooking, and I feel like it's only appropriate to share this right now. Let them cook. Triple H and Shawn Michaels have been cooking. The past couple of weeks, even NXT has been hot with their wrestling productivity here this week. Past couple of weeks, Roman Reigns is back. He's teaming up with Cody Rhodes. Big title change on Raw, which we saw last night. Some things happening in the mid card that I think is picking up, but WWE, I feel like, is just hitting in all cylinders. Gunther, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, more and more. But let's start, of course, with the American Nightmare and the original Tribal Chief teaming up. Roman Reigns, of course, returned at SummerSlam. There's been this battle back and forth. Solo with Jacob Fatu challenged Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes right outright in a tag team match, especially after Roman Reigns came in the cage match last week. After the cage match between Cody Rhodes and Solo, basically challenging Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns to a tag team match. Initially, Cody Rhodes denied, saying he was done with the bloodline. He didn't want anything to do with the bloodline at first. But then, of course, the new bloodline came out and attacked him, basically forcing essentially a union between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns to join forces to face the new bloodline at Bad Blood. What do you guys take away? Of course, the epic promo that was on SmackDown last week as well. At Georgia Tech Stadium. Epic promo between the two with so many family ties to basically that's where Roman Reigns went to play college football at Georgia Tech University. And Cody Rhodes' family, Dusty Rhodes, fought there at the Omni, big stadium for wrestling back in the NWA days, WCW days. So much blood there from his family. What do you guys make of this whole promo and this match coming together for Bad Blood?
All right, well, first off, let me talk about talk about Roman Reigns in general. Going back to 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, I love this whole story, story direction that they're going because of the possibilities that can come either way, either from Cody's path or Roman's path. Little things like when Roman Reigns came out on SmackDown, initially signed the contract from Nick Aldis, and like he's walking to the ring, and like I've seen a post on social media of like Roman typically before he walks up the ring step, he looks to his left and Paul Heyman is there. And this time when you look, you can, and his face, like his facial expression, his eyes, you could just tell, like, yeah, he's missing Paul. He's missing Paul Heyman. So just little things like that kind of just like add relevance to the story, or things that I love. And going into the promo itself on this past episode of SmackDown, I mean that was just epic cinema. And I think I messaged the chat saying that that seemed like that was tailor made for them, and like you wouldn't be able to take another two superstars in the company and do the exact same thing and it having the same impact and feeling that did, because like Daniel mentioned, the state of Georgia has a significance to both of them, and the fact that they met on that field, added more intrigue. So love the direction that they're going in, but the one part of it that I love the most from Cody's standpoint is that eventually after this tag match, I'm predicting that this is going to lead to the eventual heel turn of either Kevin Owens or Randy Orton, because from a storyline perspective, they can look at it from the standpoint of we've been fighting by your side. We've been fighting against the bloodline, Kevin Owens' case, for nearly 4 years through four main events at the Royal Rumble. So he's been going at these guys for years, and then just to see that Roman and Cody are teaming up now. I mean, they alluded to it on SmackDown with Byron Saxton asking Kevin Owens twice how he felt about it, and he didn't really get to explain his feelings. So you can already tell that there's definitely going to be tension there, and we're probably going to get heel KO again. So I love that aspect of it, and plus you still have Randy Orton out there as well. But I love the direction the story is going in. I love the fact that the little things that they're doing are making this more interesting. I mean, the only thing missing now is where's Jimmy? Where's Jimmy gonna insert himself into this? But love what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, no, this is like great setup, great storytelling. The fact that it's all tied in together from family perspective to their rivalry. It's just a great build up. And I don't want to say that, like, ever since the announcement of Bad Blood, I feel like the rivalries and everything going into this has just felt so perfect for this pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. And like, this pay-per-view doesn't feel like a throwaway pay-per-view, like not like a crown jewel, or not saying that any of those pay-per-views are bad, but feel
like a roadblock or fatal four-way or breaking point.
Yeah, or roadblock or Cyber Sunday, like these old school pay-per-views where we're like, what's really going on here? This is just
yeah, that's crazy. Like every match in this pay-per-view story has been longer than 6 months, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm like, this, like the feel of like bringing back like a pay-per-view like this is just like, it's like you have the nostalgia part of it, but then the actual stories going into it just feel like epic. And like, from the 2 years that we got with Cody and Roman to now them having to team up, and it's like there's the Bad Blood and going against the new bloodline and everything. It's just great storytelling going into it. But then like Brian said, there's a lot of avenues to this. I'm one that's hoping that we get heel KO. I feel like he's kind of been on this baby tweener thing for a while, and I feel like he does a lot of great work as a heel. Yes, he's done great work as a babyface with the chase of the title and everything went through with Roman. But I think this just sets up more feuds for Cody, and potentially I've seen reports. Well, there's a slight chance he might not make it to WrestleMania with the title, which I kind of hope he does. I feel like after what he went through, he deserves a year-long reign. I think it's just a matter of him having viable opponents to face until that. But I am also curious where this bloodline story is going to go in terms of after this, because like Brian alluded, I feel like this is going to lead more problems to him, because they're like, hey, we've been fighting the bloodline for how long, and now you're teaming up with them. And then Roman, it's like, well, who does he have left? We don't know if Jimmy's injured right now, or if he's dealing with stuff, or if he's just going to pop back up and then is Jay going to make an appearance, or are other people that they've announced that are joining WWE, are they going to come out and be a part of the bloodline? But does that kind of tarnish it, because we don't really know who these people are? So there's just a lot of stuff in the air, but a lot of just a lot of factors that are just making this very interesting in the way this story is going to go. Definitely going to be a great match. We'll see who has each other's back during the pay-per-view, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this has been epic, the way they had those two guys together, and especially you guys said the 2-year story between these two, and now they're teaming up. So this is like another wrinkle that we haven't explored, and it's kind of different than we got with Roman and Brock Lesnar, right? Where they didn't team up; they just kept facing each other for the title, right? You know what I mean? There was a little wrinkle there with Paul Heyman betraying Roman and then betraying Brock Lesnar. So there was a little bit of that, but this is on a different feel, on a different level of cinema than that was
on the playing field.
Yeah. Even though we got some great moments from that, like Brock Lesnar flipping the ring with the tractor, but overall, this is different. It has a different level. It feels more intimate. It feels more surreal. These two guys laying out their history, especially there at Georgia, and especially Bad Blood is going to be there at the Mercedes Superdome or whatever they call it there in Atlanta. But credit to the WWE production team.
State Farm Arena.
State Farm Arena? Yeah, my bad. Where's Mercedes then? All right, whatever football stadium I'm messing about. That could be
Mercedes-Benz Superdome. That's the football season. I hope Mercedes. Yeah, that's the stadium. That's the football team.
Too many domes. But overall, kudos to WWE's production team for putting this together. Really showcasing the level that Roman's at and Cody's at. Cody's kind of a little bit more grounded, even though he has a own tour bus that he rides. Roman coming out with the 7 cars, I thought that was a big symbol between the two of where they are right now. And what Brian was saying, the 2 stars right now, there's nobody else probably in wrestling in this era that can do that. Maybe you can do that with the Austin or Rock or guys of the older era, but it's like maybe a Flair.
Those are 2 of the guys I could have thought of.
Like a Flair, like the big names. But right now, these 2 guys, there's nobody else that you can do that because of the prestige that they both have, their family lineage. Like that was perfect to me. That they played and tied that all into it. As speaking for Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, last time I checked, Cody Rhodes lost with them at Money in the Bank, right? So it's like, you guys couldn't get it done. Why are you guys turning heel? Like, I don't get that. But I mean, I understand why they would turn heel because Kevin Owens has been fighting them for literally 5 years.
Exactly. Kevin Owens been fighting for 5 years. Randy's was out for a year and some change because of them storyline purposes. So
yeah. So it's like it's been real tough. Didn't they break up RK, bro? Was it them?
I think he was just injured.
Or was that the Judgment Day? Can't remember.
Yeah. So technically, they did break up RK Bro because they were still together, and that's when Randy got hurt and he was out, and then Matt Riddle was on his own.
Yeah.
Hence why Matt Riddle ended up getting released because he didn't have Randy keeping them straight.
That wasn't the only reason. Oh yeah, keeping them.
Hey, look, man. There's a TMZ. All I know is there's a TMZ video of him drunk as fuck getting on the intercom for one of the airlines.
Yeah.
There's a TMZ video. That's all I know.
He was doing too much. He was doing too much, basically. But now it's just interesting to see where all these guys are going. What part Kevin Owens is going to play in it, because they've been teasing this Kevin Owens. Will he? Won't he? Holding the title, looking like he's going to hit Cody. They're playing it up, and he's battling inner demons and stuff like that because that's naturally what Kevin Owens has done. Chris Jericho, Sami Zayn, the list goes on of people who he's betrayed, and backstab and stuff like that. And I feel like Kevin Owens in this, ever since he's been on SmackDown, honestly, has kind of been in between, kind of floating, trying to figure out what he's doing. He's kind of continuing to be tied to this bloodline story, and something has to come of it. I feel like it's going to be a heel turn because it's like, I feel like that's the edge Kevin Owens needs, and especially I want him to go back to the prize fighter. I want him to be fighting for titles and kicking ass and stuff like that. So hopefully we get that. As Randy Orton, that's just a legacy thing between him and Cody, in my opinion. Like that's just a match that just has to happen for significant value, like just what those two, the history between those two, that's just a match that can happen organically. I don't know if he has to turn heel. Of course, we all want to see Randy turn heel because that's the best form of Randy Orton, right? But I feel like Randy's just in a different role now. He's like in that veteran role. I don't know if he has to be a heel, but regardless, that match needs to happen at some point. Where does Roman fit in that if that match happens or whatever the case may be? But obviously, these 2 stars are just picking it up, and we're going to see what happens with the new bloodline, Solo and Jacob Fatu. Everyone's kind of been edging Jacob Fatu to the front of the bloodline, right? Like they want to see him take on everybody and just be released because we've seen all this stuff from MLW, what he's done in WWE already, and we're just like, there's more meat on the bone with that. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I can't wait for this tag team matchup. Definitely has a big fight feel, as Lewis is saying, with the Bad Blood moniker that they have brought back. The Hell in a Cell match that's going to be taking place. Of course, the first Hell in a Cell match was there at Bad Blood in 1997. So definitely just looking forward to it. Especially these guys at the magnitude that they are, star power again. It's kind of been like Cody's been facing this second-rate bloodline that everyone's talking about, and them talking about for the months ever since Solo has taken over. I think he's been doing a good job. It's just a tough spot to be when you're not Roman Reigns. That's how I feel.
Live up to those expectations.
Because it's funny because I remember when everybody was like, we want to see Solo fake Roman. Like that was the big thing for like half a year, like when they were having tense moments backstage and stuff like that.
And then once he did it, they're like, nah, we don't want him.
Because he's not the best guy in this group.
I think when it was just
really got somebody in the group that's better than you, and you see it. Like we don't believe you, Solo.
That's tough. I
think it also has to do with the promo work, because during his time with Roman, he never said much of it.
He didn't need to say any much. He didn't need to say much.
So it was just the look of like, maybe I could be tribal chief, or
Yeah.
I'm strong enough. What don't I do? Something.
He made his own group. But overall, back to the promo from Roman. I didn't want to leave this out. He said they took my wise man away from me. They took Jimmy away from me. So it's like those guys are returning at some point. And I can't remember if it was a post by. I don't know if it was by Paul Heyman, but he had a black suit on. I don't remember if it was a couple weeks ago, a week ago, but he posted it. It was on a Friday. Of him in a black suit. So something's definitely going on. And again, Roman mentioning Jimmy. It's like he's got to come back at some point. So can't wait to see
Paul. Paul is so great to the story, but at the same time, I kind of want Paul to, I don't know, maybe if he was like written off, but like I kind of want him to be in that managerial role of like new up and comers. Like I feel like a Braun could do great with him, or even I don't know, even Bronson, not about Bronson Reed, but like just like there's so many new stars coming in. It's like
Austin Theory.
Oh,
honestly,
if he didn't talk, maybe.
Killing my guy, man. Killing my guy. I know what I mean. I feel like WWE has tried that. They did it with Cesaro and Curtis Axel. They have tried that, but I feel like
they tried it with Cesaro for like a hot second.
Yeah, but I feel like
they did, but to me, I think it didn't work with Cesaro or it didn't work with Curtis Axel is because he had been with Brock for so long by that point that people just associated him with Brock. So when he went to other people, it just didn't work. Now this Roman thing, that's why the Roman thing was just interesting at first because Roman was being a heel for the first time. So
and it's just like I don't know if Paul Heyman wants to work with other people. I feel like he wants to be in that main event role, and he did it with Brock Lesnar. He worked with Kurt Angle. He worked with Big Show. Like it's weird. I don't know. Like I don't. Yeah. I think this might be the final act for Paul Heyman. Like he's going to be tied to Roman. Like I don't see him, even if I don't know, because it's like unless he's going to manage Jacob Fatu.
I see him good with like a Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Older family ties, that era, like lead him to the title type scenario. I see that type of thing.
Yeah, and he was already in Braun Breaker's corner in that that NXT where they went head to head with AEW. Or Paul Heyman was on the show. He was in Braun Breaker's corner, so yes, they already have that connection.
Yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, WWE keep bringing back managers. It works. Like it helps. It helps. Please keep doing it. But yeah, we'll see what happens at Bad Blood with these two. We're going to be making our picks next week, so can't be looking forward to that and seeing how that plays out. Let's get into some news that just happened no less than 24 hours ago. Jey Uso wins his first single championship, defeating Braun Breaker at Ontario, California last night at Monday Night Raw. In an epic match between those two. Kudos to those guys. What do you guys make of Jey Uso winning his first title and Braun Breaker losing the title again?
Yeah, let's see.
Again? Oh, yeah.
Louis, you want to go first?
Yeah. This is why I like these curveballs. And I think one thing maybe maybe I didn't expect this to happen is because I think in this new age of Triple H's booking, which has been great, is we've seen longer title reigns. I think even for a lot of people, it was a big surprise that Braun was actually dropped the title because I didn't think it was going to do it. As much as Jay's been great, and I mean, it makes sense. He won the tournament. You know, they build up the story of how long he's been here. And even him cutting that promo against Braun, like, hey, listen, you're the young boy. You've been here how long? You know, I've been here this long. Yes, I've won tag team gold, but now I'm going from singles gold. So it's like he has the respect and legacy already in WWE. So it's like, how does he keep not reaching that height? You know,
brass ring.
And you know, I love it. You know, I think it's well deserved for how hot he is. He needs something that's gonna, you know, eventually lead him up to challenging more for the world title at some point. And hey, you never know. He could win it. And but definitely a great great match between them. Braun, even in loss, I think still looks great just because he's fresh, he's new, you know. He's like the young Brock, the young Randy. Like, yeah, look, they're gonna win the title, but you know, it's not gonna hurt them to lose it. And he's so strong right now and can have great matches with so many people. And you never know, he could, you know, kind of do what he did in NXT. You know, it might not be ideal, but you know, he could get a partner, become tag team champs, have a story there, and then you know that just kind of gives him more to his character, and then you know that'll lead him to the title picture. Because I feel like the title picture right now is kind of, it's not full, but there are a lot of people that are in other stories who could potentially be in there as well. You know, you have the Damian Priest, you have the Sami Zayn, you know. He's new coming in, but he's also really hot too. But I don't think it takes anything away from him losing the title. Yeah, it was kind of short, only his second. I feel like maybe his third or fourth should have kind of been the loss, but still a great surprise, which I feel like is needed every once in a while. So definitely great match, and I loved it.
Yeah, like Lewis said, you know, that's the thing about you know booking. Like, you have to throw those curveballs in and keep the fans on their toes. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I watched this main event just waiting for a Braun Breaker spear and a 1-2-3. I had no thoughts about Jay winning the title when he won the Fatal 4-Way. I'm thinking, okay, you know, it'll be a very good match. He'll come up short again because it's kind of like a story with Jay, and eventually when he does win, it'll be a big moment. So I didn't think that he had a snowball's chance in hell of winning the match. So when he did get the 1-2-3, it definitely caught me off guard, and I was just ecstatic by it because you know I'm a when it comes to wrestling, I'm a historian, so I always think back to like little things. Like I remember back in like 2015 watching I think it was Battleground, that pay-per-view, and their first match on the card was the Usos in a 2 out of 3 falls match, I guess, against the Wyatt family. And like going back to 2015, you would never think that, you know, the Usos could be separated, and you never think that one of them could be a top star, and that like you always were thinking they were always going to be a tag team, and that if you broke them up, that it wouldn't help either of them. So now you fast forward to now, and you see that how over that Jay is, almost to the point where, you know, like his entrance, for instance, you know, that camera shot that I love that they do when they actually actually show these guys interacting with the fans. I mean, that's just great production. I love the fact that they do that. You just see how over he is. I mean, we always go back to Backlash in France, how that France crowd had everybody thinking that he was John Cena with the reaction he was getting there. So, I mean, it was. The only thing that is bittersweet about it is just that it had to come at the expense of Braun Breaker. But Braun Breaker is still young. He's still up and coming. I'm pretty sure they do have plans for him. I mean, I think he's going to be a babyface soon because the crowd is barking now for him. I mean, they bark for him now. So I think he's clearly getting over, and I don't. And even though it sucks that he lost, I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to like hurt him, because when you look at the circumstances, I mean, Jay was hot. I mean, people, I mean, the fans that were clamoring for them finally to pull the trigger. I mean, definitely, Rikishi was one person that was begging for them to pull the trigger. And now you see, I think I saw a report today that now he might have said that they might have done it too fast. But I don't know if that's true. I think that's just bullshit. But I'm pretty sure he was ecstatic to see one of his twin sons winning a world title. I mean, winning the Intercontinental title. So, very, very happy. Very happy for Jay. So, I want to bring out another theory. So, after he won, I went on Twitter, and one fan brought up the theory of, what if he won the Intercontinental title to set up a trade with LA Knight to go back to SmackDown to be in this Bloodline storyline? Just the theory.
That's crazy.
Well, just I thought about it, and I was just like, I mean, maybe. I mean,
wait a minute. That would be some.
But
I'm throwing a flag.
Didn't Jay initially get traded from SmackDown to Raw?
But for Kevin Owens,
Cody brought him there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Who did they send over though?
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, send over Kevin Owens.
So that sets off the Kevin Owens heel turn.
You brought Jay back.
Like, what the hell? you broke up my tag team for this?
But have you guys seen any of the? Because I know obviously when you won the title, they kind of went off the air kind of fast. You didn't really get to see you celebrating, but I think they posted it on social media. I saw.
Yeah, I didn't really see it.
I saw it.
I mean, if you watch it, you might get emotional watching it because like you can actually see like tears coming down his face. I think he was being interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and you could definitely tell like all the emotion came out, and it's crazy because he has had a journey. I mean, they told it in the video package about how been there 14 years. I think 13 of those in a tag team. Like I said, you never thought like back in 2016, 2017 that the Usos could break up and one of them would be a success. Nobody ever thought that. So it's a credit to the Bloodline storyline. But very happy for Jay.
Yeah.
No, it was great stuff. I was impressed by the match, of course, and I think that's where it doesn't hurt Braun Breaker because he's having these great matches, like he's having these crazy good matches at a young age and stuff like that. And he's young; he's going to get another opportunity and stuff like that. So he has more years on his career to be a main event player, and he obviously is. As for Jey, originally I was upset because it was like Braun Breaker's reign was only 2 months, but this happened back in the day when I'm looking at Intercontinental title reigns. Like a lot of people, especially in the Attitude Era, people lost that belt, but that's how you build rivalries. And I don't know if this is going to be the situation where Jey gets traded or anything like that, but and it's weird because we already saw Jimmy basically cost him the Intercontinental title against Gunther, right? Like we already saw the bloodline, so I don't think there was going to be any anything of that nature happening in this match, and it didn't. It was just a straight match, good back and forth. I love the match. I love the spear through the barricade. I thought that was awesome. The false finishes in this matchup, and Braun Breaker main eventing Monday Night Raw. That's another thing. Like this guy's young; he's already that experienced to be put in the main event on Raw. So there's confidence there behind him. As for Jey Uso, it's just a testament, man. It's kind of like, I don't want to say a Kofi Kingston type feel or anything like that, or a Mick Foley feel like that or anything like that. But it definitely was a good moment, great moment for Jey Uso, man. Just a consummate professional going through it. As you guys said, tag team. I remember those battles with the New Day and stuff like that. And again, as Brian said, we didn't think any of those guys in terms of, maybe, how long ago was that? I'm trying to think before Kofi won the title, but either way, you didn't think any of those guys were going to be in that situation to be main event players and stuff like that. And title, like you thought there was always going to be a ceiling, especially underneath the old regime, right? Yeah. Like now we're in this new regime where Jey Uso got his own music, got his own entrance, he got his own merch. Like it's a different feel with him. To see him capitalize on the Intercontinental title, it kind of reminded me of Eddie Guerrero. When he won the U.S. title, I can't remember who defeated. I can't remember if it was Big Show or something like that.
Might have been Big Show.
It might have been Big Show at that time, but it's just like, or did he drop the title? I think he dropped the title to Big Show, but he won the title and then he had the big celebration in his hometown. So, Oxnard, California. Eddie won the title in No Way Out, San Diego. California. So that's what I'm thinking of it. But just in general, seeing that emotion from the crowd, seeing emotion from Jey, it was like that. I'm fine with that. Like that was a good feeling moment, and I'm glad it happened to Jey Uso, man. But we'll see whatever carries on the Intercontinental title. Obviously, Braun has to get his rematch, so that's definitely going to happen at some point.
I kind of want them to bring back rematches. I kind of never. I mean, I get the whole like, well, we got to pursue new stuff. I kind of want them to bring back the rematch clauses, just because. People should be able to get a rematch, and then all right, whatever you lose, then move on to the next one. And you got to work your way back up. But
yeah. See, I mean, they have done that because Sammy beat Braun, right? And then Braun got his rematch at SummerSlam, so it does happen. It's not out of the element for it. So
yeah.
For a while, they said they were getting rid of that. Oh, they like said it on air, like, oh, there are no more rematch clause or whatever.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I agree with you too, Lewis. The only time when like it's not good is when like when the title is like flip flopping. Like there were times like back in the day where like I can remember like when
Sasha Banks in Charlotte.
I was actually thinking of Jeff Hardy. I was thinking of Jeff Hardy and John Morrison over the Intercontinental title because I think like 1 week Jeff Hardy won it, then John Morrison won the rematch. Morrison won it the next week, then Jeff Hardy won it the next week, and then the following week they had a lot of matches to determine it. It was just back and forth, and that's when it gets annoying.
So basically, what you're saying is they should do the best of 5 series for the title, like how they did with Booker T and John Cena.
You might as well just call it that if you're going to do that.
I don't mind it. I would like the best of 3 or 5 series, like 3 out of 5 series, and that they do that type of stuff, and that'll be kind of good. I feel like, especially right now, especially with 3 hours of programming, that they should be trying to do things like that and bring those type of stipulations back, because I feel like that's how you build rivalries. That's how you build guys' work rate up. It gets the fans interested in it, even though they kind of did that with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade on SmackDown. Yeah, and people were kind of iffy about that, but it's like those matches were good. Those matches were awesome. Yeah,
so they're having another one, which I'm like overkilling this right now because there's no reason for him to have another match with him.
See, I don't think it's necessarily overkill because I think like that's kind of like the whole basis of the feud of who's really the better man, and like I think they pretty much said it was going to go best of 7. So so if you at least put it out there that okay, we're heading in this direction, then it's like okay, we'll accept it more. See if they just kept having matches without even like mentioning it, then it would be.
Well, he also had that backstage interaction after he lost that match. Yeah. Like went at it. So I mean, like it makes sense storytelling wise. I do love though that the crowd now really gets into it when it's a really close 3 count, and now they're starting to chant "Ref, you suck." I feel like yeah. Well, I remember they would do it when like a ref would like get dumb close and be like, "Yeah, you that should have been a 3."
Yeah, you screwed up there.
But I saw in this match where it was like really close, where Braun kicked out, and they're like, "Ref, ref, you suck." And I'm like, I like how they start.
These crowds have been good in this new era of WWE. They're really trying to be responsive because everyone thinks that they're going to get a WrestleMania or a pay-per-view or a big storyline in their city. So I feel like they're on auditioning week to week to have WWE come back and put on bigger shows for them. So I mean, I get it, and especially, and that's a good thing. We want the fans interacting with it, kind of like when we went to Raw and stuff like that, and had the kids yelling and people booing and stuff like that. Like that's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, oh, we're doing the wave, or we're throwing a beach ball, or we're booing this match. Like we shouldn't have that anymore. Like we should be in a good element of wrestling. And this match was it. Perfect setting for Jey Uso to win his Intercontinental Championship. But let's get into another part of 2 monsters tearing apart Raw. Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman have been destroying each other, jumping off cars, breaking down walls, beating up security guards. What's next that these guys can do? And after the latest brawl last night, Adam Pearce has declared that there will be a last monster standing match. What do you guys make of this? This is basically I would have liked this at the pay-per-view, but of course, with all the big matches at the pay-per-view, maybe this is probably the perfect setting for it, so we don't lose this in the grand scheme of things. But what do you guys make of this? These 2 guys just going at it and tearing each other apart.
See,
you go ahead, Lewis.
See, I was gonna say this would have been a perfect story for Bad Blood.
You're the Bronson Reed guy.
So, everything that I wanted and everything that I was saying, this guy has it. He has it. He has the look. He has the size. He has the speed. And honestly, I had a feeling that when he was gonna get put with someone big, kind of like a Braun, like this is where he's gonna shine. And after that, once that turn on, not turn, but that attack on Seth Rollins, it's just like, even though he doesn't necessarily to win, he's been like crushing people, taking people out, and it's just like, this is how you build up a star. Like this is somebody who could, potentially, not trying to negate Jay's run right now, but like this is the type of people you build up to get into that mid card title to then go into the main event, and it's like this is how you.
We thought he could have been there, right? Like he had that match with Gunther, and everybody was like, he belongs. Like there was no question of where he is in the wrestling. But keep going. But yeah, we saw this with Gunther.
So and I think this is also smart too, maybe keeping it off the pay-per-view because it brings the focus to a Monday Night Raw where they're just the main event. And I think for them to have a last man standing, they're going to be everywhere. They're going to I guarantee this goes backstage and comes back to the ring. And, I think you kind of even saw that when they had that last interaction that you can tell a ring collapse is probably coming or something like that,
I thought we were getting that on Raw because I was like, I was screaming at the TV, if you do this, the ring better collapse. You do this.
Well, even during the Braun Jay match when Jay was going into the turnbuckle, I heard a clink clank, and I was like, "Was this?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Jesus Christ!" But yeah, I'm sure they're gonna come up with some great stuff. You got two giant men, big meaty men stopping meat.
I mean, the last time we saw Braun in this situation, Roman Reigns had to get an ambulance.
Hey, he flipped that ambulance, didn't he?
Did he have to get in the semi and crash into the ambulance, or was it vice versa? I can't remember.
I remember what happened. Braun Strowman flipped Roman Reigns over in the ambulance, and at some point later on in the feud, then Roman crashed into him with a semi while Braun Strowman was in the ambulance. I remember. Yeah, that's when people hated Roman Reigns. Like
they were like, "Well, he committed murder."
This is when people were like happy to see him get beat up. Like I remember when Braun hit him with the steps on his chest, and people were chanting, "You deserve it." I'm like, that's fucked up.
Damn. This is gonna be a great showing, and I already know it's gonna be a great match for a Raw main event. So I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, man. Yep. Again, these guys are running each other through walls, destroying cars. The splash off the car still gets me.
That was a great one.
That's still
that's always gonna be like a beautiful shot with the glass and everything.
I don't know if it's in the Raw intro, but it needs to be.
It's going to be. But this is what you get when you get King Kong versus Godzilla, right? These two guys going at one another. Since Bronson Reed, crushed Braun Strowman on the car. All of their interactions since then have been pretty much 50-50. They've been definitely trying to protect both monsters. They've been having them go through security and. It's definitely been a very vicious and competitive. Like Lewis said, when they have this match on Raw, they're pretty much going to be everywhere. It's going to be spot after spot after spot. I can only imagine now. Like, well, where's Bronson Reed going to jump from now? probably going to jump off the stage through Braun Strowman or something of that nature. Like, we're going to see some at least so many feats of strength in this match. Yeah. I like the fact that they're having it on Raw, like Lewis said, to kind of keep the feature on, kind of keep the focus on them, and also because Raw is 3 hours long, and you need like key matches like this or attractions like this to keep the fans' interest. So I like it from that standpoint. But I'm definitely expecting Bronson Reed to go over in this one because he's kind of been the primary focus for the last couple of months. But
he's the new monster.
Yeah, it's going to be a pure destruction. My question is, when do you guys think we're going to get Seth Rollins coming back? He was at the Bears and
he was
probably after. I say after Bad Blood, he probably comes back after the Drew. I feel like he's going to get involved in the Drew Punk Hell in a Cell match somehow.
He's got to go after Bronson when he comes back. You don't get splashed double-digit times and then let that slide.
Bronson almost killed this dude. He has to go.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, so maybe that's the next big feud that they're setting up, maybe for the fall, winter time, or whatever the case may be. But of course, these two guys going at it. Of course, we saw this with Bronson Reed. We've been saying since when Lewis has been saying since he got the call up from NXT and stuff like that. That he has it and he just needs a chance, and he has that chance and he's taking it. I'm happy for Braun Strowman. because he had that scary health situation where we didn't know if he was paralyzed or not, if he was going to be okay and stuff like that to that nature. And to see him go out there and perform with another guy, and it's like, I feel like he's kind of been, especially in this era where they're trying to find giants and stuff like that, and it's been misused and mishandled, especially with the guy Omos, who should not be named, right? But
I
gotta do it, man. I gotta do it.
No, until we see him on screen and he does something of significance, don't ever mention his name.
I'm just saying. But just seeing Braun, I kind of felt like he's misused at times. I know he had that little short world championship run and stuff like that. He won the tag team titles with who's the kid that he won? Nicholas.
I hated that.
One of the referees' sons, yeah,
and all that stuff there and doing all that stuff. So it's like, I just feel like he's been misused and he could have been used better, especially as a giant, as a heel. I know they were trying to do that stuff with him and Bray and stuff like that. That kind of fell flat. I felt like his booking kind of suffered there. But to see him turning around and be going this hard against Bronson Reed and this impactful against Bronson Reed, it's like, it shows his value too. Like, he's kind of been a little bit maybe a sideshow, kind of forgotten a little bit, but it's like, nope. He can perform if you put him up there with the right opponent, and we're seeing that with Bronson Reed, and it's going to be epic next Monday. It's going to be epic. No question, it's going to be epic.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. And another thing, kudos to the WWE production team. That little promo package that they had between those two of them being monsters and tearing down the city, awesome shit. It made it a big fight.
Didn't that give you vibes of like that SummerSlam promo with Austin and Undertaker? Didn't they have something similar with like them with the buildings or something?
Oh, the Highway to Hell.
Highway to Hell, yeah.
What was that? There was the Brock Lesnar one. Was that Brock and Rock? Was that Brock and Rock? No, what was the thing when it was like the biggest event of the summer? Some shit like that. I can't remember. One of those SummerSlam.
Was it when Brock beat him for the title?
It was a later one. It's when he came back the first time or some shit like that. I can't remember. I can't remember. But I can't wait for this match. Definitely going to be tuning in to that next week. Let's move on to Drew McIntyre's promo on Monday Night Raw and CM Punk. Since we didn't get to talk about that, it sounds like these guys are prepared to go to hell. They're prepared to tear each other apart. As the stipulation Hell in a Cell. We know the history with Hell in a Cell, especially at Bad Blood. Wasn't it Kevin Nash and Triple H at Bad Blood?
Yeah, and Hell in a Cell, and Mick Foley was the guest referee. Yeah,
Mick Foley was the guest referee. But of course, everyone remembers HBK, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, the debut with Kane, all that stuff. So this coming full circle. These guys have been really turned up the heat ever since SummerSlam. Even before SummerSlam, have really been turning up the heat. And passionate promos, and both of these guys basically CM Punk saying he's willing to put his life on the line, Drew saying he's willing to put his life on the line, both saying they're going to make each other bleed. So we're definitely going to get some color in this match. How much, we'll see. But what do you guys just make of this promo work, continuing to build up week to week? And I think it's a good thing. Let me just say this to start it off, that they're keeping them apart. I think that's a good thing.
Well, storyline wise, it makes sense to keep them apart. I mean, Drew, breaking the bracelet, kicking Punk in the face. I think was that the last interaction, or was it not?
I think so.
It was an attack on Raw, wasn't it?
Yeah, because has Punk come back and attacked Drew since? I'm trying to remember.
I think they had
the whole before the
announcement of the match.
The strap match.
Okay, all right. So as far as this feud goes, I know I've always been the type of person that that kind of like when a feud gets to its point, I'm always like, okay, enough of the promos. I just want to get to the match at this point. This is probably one of the very few times where I'm just like, well, give me more promos. Let's keep building. Let's keep building. Because you know, like our special guest correspondent Ryan, I'm into this feud just as much, because whether it's Punk's promos, whether it's Drew's promos, whether it's on social media, I mean the feud. I mean they have amped up this feud to the point where you just want more of it. I mean we say it every week. I mean, they literally been feuding since January, and
Literally.
literally. And I mean, the story first the bracelet was an essential part of the story. Now the bracelet's the reason why the feud is amped up another level. Punk's promo from last week, I love the fact that he spoken. His whole promo was done in such a serious tone to really show how deep and personal this has been. Because if you watch NXT the next night, he's more lighthearted. He's more of a lighthearted down there, and you compare it to Monday Night Raw, and it's just a complete 180. So you love
business.
That. But you love how Punk is showing that that seriousness, and then you get Drew's promo last night, which Drew has just been knocking that out of the park as far as the promos have gone for the longest time, and this, and then like I said, this feud has been going on for so long, and you see that it's going to have to come to an end. But my question is this:
is it? They're going to fight forever, Brian.
My question is this.
Mm-hmm.
I know we opened up the show talking about Cody and Roman versus Solo and Jacob, and now we have this match.
Don't do it, Brian. Don't do it.
I'm going to ask the question. I'm not going to choose either way. This is the reason why I'm asking the question, because I really don't know. What should main event? Should we go star power, or should we go with the more personal story?
Let me just.
What main events the show? Because either match has a case for main eventing.
Yeah.
Let me just do this real quick. Come on, why is it not doing it? Why is it not letting me do it?
And I get it. This is Roman Reigns' first match at WrestleMania. It's in Atlanta because it's Cody's hometown, and Cody is the top guy. So you would think star power gets the edge. But Punk and Drew literally has been going on all year.
I don't know how this is going to look, but
so it has a case as well. So.
Why can't I zoom in on that?
For me.
They're on the poster. They got a main event.
They're on the poster. So it's like,
they have to main event because I'll say only because the Cody Roman match is just a regular tag team match. That's it. You have literally this giant story that's been going. Yes, you got the Roman Cody backstory and everything, but this has been a week-to-week ongoing feud. Mm-hmm. And then you add Hell in a Cell to that. It makes it, and that they're going to go over the top. That's what they've been saying in the promos, but they're going to go crazy in this match. And that it's literally the definition of bad blood. Mm-hmm. This literally. There's a lot of factors and layers to that, but it's just a tag match. You got literally Hell in a Cell, and they're trying to make Hell in a Cell a big thing. So I feel like this has to be the main event, and it has to end with it.
And especially bringing Hell in a Cell back. I mean, I don't think we've seen it since WrestleMania between Finn Balor and Edge. So, to bring it back and having this magnitude definitely has to main event. There's no question. Sorry, Cody and Roman. We need this one, and especially the investment.
No red cell. Please,
no, we're not getting red cell. I mean,
it's got to be the old silver.
No, we were getting a red cell. It would have showed in the graphic that they did for for the match. And I think
maybe they're hiding it, Brian. Maybe they're hiding it.
Maybe they can't scrape off all the red paint.
Poor WWE workers. That poor guy.
But I'm just saying that either match does have a case though.
No, it does.
I think the Hell in a Cell match holds a little more weight just because of the history and they're bringing it back.
And while they're trying to make it the big thing, they don't do Hell in a Cell matches too often.
Plus, both these guys, the investment they made in this feud, like the promo work, the passion that they're showing on screen, the investment WWE has made in CM Punk, it's got to pay off. This has got to be it.
And I wish John was here on the show when I say this. See, I'm almost afraid that if he doesn't main event, then we're gonna start getting bad Punk again. So I almost want him.
Did you hear this guy wants to be a trainer and work as a producer and
all that shit again?
Didn't you hear we're gonna get good Punk and he wants to be a producer and work with WWE forever and all this good stuff? Come on, man. He's turned a new leaf.
Yeah.
I just hope so.
all that stuff ended when him and Triple H took that picture backstage. It was done. It was
like, I don't want to be a heel anymore.
I want to be a good guy forever and fight for the Chicagoans and all the little guys. But nah, can't wait to see this match. They were doing great work. Can't wait to see it, man. Let's go into the women's division. Let's start with Damage Control. On the heels of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. We had that banger of a match last week between Io and Bianca Belair. What do you guys make of that and just the work of Damage Control and this kind of little buzz that I'm seeing in the women's tag team division?
Okay. All right, Lou, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll be quick.
Yeah.
Make Io a single star again, please. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, you might as well. Like I said, Damage Control is not going to be whole until next year because Asuka's out for the year, and you don't know when Dakota Kai's coming back. So they're going to be. It's just going to be these two. So you might as well just have them. You know,
I'm sorry. I want to see the pirate. I want to see the pirate princess. I'm sorry.
Say that again. After all the crap you gave it before, I don't want to hear it, Dan.
I want to see the pirate princess again. I'm sorry. I want to see.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the evil pirate. Maybe it's just the way she stands in the background. But I have not liked this iteration of Kairi Sane.
I haven't either. That's what I'm saying. I want her to go back to her.
It's like all she does is like make little hand gestures and like moves her face a weird way. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, this isn't the Kairi that we had in NXT that was like killing it. That we said that elbow was just like deadly and everything. And like,
because think about it. What was she? That was her name. What, the Pirate Princess? Yeah, because she was a pirate. So that's charismatic.
It still works for her. Like,
but you could be. She was a charismatic pirate. So that's very.
Now she's dark and mysterious, and
hey, she had an eye patch, so she's still technically a pirate.
Wears black.
Yeah, but I would, based on this, I mean, Io has just been killing it. That match with her and Bianca last week was amazing, and it's like, why is she not in the title picture right now? Like, her in-ring work is so good. She sells things great. You know, she's great in the ring and the sky and everything. And with some of the strength of like Bianca, and for her to work so well with them, it's like she should be in that main event scene like all the time. Yes, English isn't her first language, but come on, that's already been proven that's not even
doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't hold the person back anymore in this day and age. So
not only does it matter anymore, but her backstage promo on Raw, she actually speaks very good English though.
Yeah.
So it's like so that shouldn't even be a concern anymore when it comes to Io. But but definitely love the match between Bianca and Io last week. I mean, that's main event quality stuff, and that's the reason why that their women's division is one of the, if not the top, women's division. Love the backstage promo. That's definitely going to be a very entertaining match when they get to it. But as far as the women's tag team division goes, I just want to say one thing, and I'm actually very annoyed by this. During the show, they aired a fucking promo for Pure Fusion Collective, and I'm pissed about it because this is the fucking promo that should have aired the week after they first debuted, and they wrecked Charlotte. Why the fuck are you showing it now when it's clear as fucking day that this group is not going to be what you set out for it to be? I was literally sitting on my couch watching this promo. I literally got up, stood in front of the TV, and was like, "I don't believe you." You like literally, like 50 Cent. I don't believe you.
I said the same thing, and I'm like, after.
Hold on, wait a minute. What are they? The female Bullet Club now with the gun pose now? Talking about shoot your shot.
That should have been the first thing. That should have been the first promo.
This the week after they debuted. It's too late now. It's done. It's over. Let it go, man. Triple H. You've been having home run after home run after home run since you took over. This is a ground out. This is your first ground out. Let it go. It's done. Pure Fusion Collective. The name is bullshit. Like everything about them is no good. Let it go.
And this is the thing. It's like they've lost so much. And did they even? Who did they beat recently? Or did they beat anybody recently?
Didn't they lose to Natalia? And
did they lose that had 6 women. Yeah, in Canada,
Selena
right?
Vega and
Exactly. So it's like,
as a matter of fact, didn't they all tap out? Now that I think about it,
hey.
I believe they all tapped out.
oh man.
So why? Again,
Oh man.
why, man? Why?
It's just like, how do you make this promo for jobbers? I guess. Since when do jobbers get these promos, man?
hey, maybe this is the turn. Okay, maybe this is the turn that they needed. They just needed a kick-ass promo, to set everything up.
See, you know what? I probably would have believed in them more if I saw this, like you said, after
if we just erased the past 2 months.
And this was like, I was like, yo, this is not gonna do anything for them. They need, like, I'm sorry, Sonya Deville does not have it. And then all the mystique that Shayna has is gone, and Zoe is just attached to it, maybe for a specific reason. I don't know why, but I'm like, you guys, no. Maybe it's just a heel group to throw to the tag team division, I guess, but it's not. And like Brian said, like, you've been doing all these great things with other tag teams and stuff, or your other factions. It's just like, this faction is just not.
You want to know what? I'm not going to give up hope.
Yes, you should.
You don't do a kick-ass promo with like that with no payoff. I'm sorry.
Do promos win championships? Is that what you're saying, Daniel?
Presentation.
Oh, no. Presentation has been loss after loss after loss.
Yeah, that is what we have been given, but that's not what we're going to be served. They're going to turn it up. It's not the end of 2024. It's only August.
Pretty close. It's the end of September. What are you talking about?
It's only August. Bro, we're not in October, man. Next week is October.
Hey, it's not over. Okay, guys, they're going to do it. They're going to turn it around. It's okay. They're going to turn it around. That's you don't do this presentation.
They're going to turn it around when they bring back Ronda, right? They're going to bring back Ronda, and it'll be the purest fusion.
They just keep adding MMA fighters. Amanda Nunes is next.
If that's the case, then I'm on board.
Purest fusion collective.
Purest woman fighter ever. Just get her and Sam Fairfax.
Yeah. I'm always gonna remember that.
Just keep adding. Just keep adding to the collective. Just keep adding to the collective, man. Nah, man, but it's tough. But Damage Control defeating the Unholy Union. They've been getting some more ring work. Potentially setting up another tag team match between Damage Control and Bianca and Jade. So hopefully that happens. Hopefully that can. And I'm sorry, I've said it before. Bianca, Jade, please turn heel. We need a heel turn. They're too strong. They're too strong.
But they're the champs. Why do they need to turn heel?
You said turn heel, right? Not break up. You said turn heel.
Turn heel.
Okay.
They do need to break up, though.
I don't think so. Keep it going.
Keep it going. They actually talked about that on a podcast together. I forget what it was, but I saw like an article somewhere where like that's like the one thing that people always tweet at them. That's like the number one.
Yeah.
When you guys gonna break up? Or when is Jade gonna be the Jade that we all know from AEW and stuff? And like they're aware of it, but the fact of the matter, they actually enjoy being a tag team.
And this is the thing. And this is the thing with these tag teams. It's like, look at the heel tag teams: Pure Fusion Collective, Unholy Union. And they're made to look weak.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
that's why you need the Pure Fusion Collective, Lewis.
Have you not been watching their work? I don't know what else you want from them.
No, it's been rough.
Everybody's been shooting their shot and has been hitting. That's what's been happening. They've hit the target.
Oh man, that was a misstep by WWE. I don't know what happened. That was a misstep.
So,
but I still got hope.
I'm just looking for more female. Obviously looking past this whole Rhea, Liv, and like who else is going to be put into that main card spot, because it just looks like it's just a bunch of tag teams, and it's like you have such potential people to be the next champ or singles.
I mean, but everybody can't be at the top. And they don't have a mid card title.
Who else is a single star in the female on Raw?
Becky Lynch, but she's on hiatus.
She's not even contracted.
Yeah.
Guess who's coming back? Guess who's coming back? Charlotte.
Charlotte.
So you're going back in time. Is what you're doing. You don't want to create new stars. Wow. 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 Good props to the future of
Who else is left? They're gonna call up. They're gonna call up Roxanne Perez.
Groups are holding
Lyra Valkyrie. They have to utilize the tag team division. They have to utilize.
No, they don't.
They have to.
No, they don't.
Because what do you want this to be?
We can all say that the tag titles don't mean crap. They don't.
Whoa. There has been a little bit of prestige brought to those tag team titles. We've gotten good matches. Settle down, Lewis. It's building. It's building.
Give me your good match highlight.
All right, so what do you guys think about them possibly introducing women's mid-card titles, Intercontinental title? And
I would like that.
I would like that a lot too.
Now, so we make the same complaints about the continuity of the tag team division. Now, if you add in a women's mid-card title, I mean, does that kind of like also present the same issues?
I would prefer them to continue to build up the women's tag team division. That's what I would prefer.
Because like you just said, who else is gonna be in the main title picture if everyone else is just in the tag team division?
But you can branch off people like that. It doesn't have to be so cut and dry.
That's the thing about that women's division. I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago when we covered NXT's last PLE, and we talked about like how Jada Parker was facing Roxanne, and we talked about how like literally there's like 10 to 12 women in their division where like they're kind of like in like the same like level of Jada Parker where you can like sub them out, put them in her spot, and they'll have just as good of a match that she had with Roxanne. And then you also add in like Julia, Stephanie Vacker, some of these other women that they brought up. Like their the women's division NXT is deep. So when they have their next draft, and assuming that they introduce these titles like in the coming year, you might get a bunch of women. Call-ups, and then you got other women like Daniel mentioned, like Charlotte, who's on her way.
Let me just go over the Raw women's division right now. Alba Fire, Asuka, Dakota Kai, Isla Dawn, Ivy Nile, Io Sky, Kairi Sane, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter. Is Kiana James still with the company?
She is still with the company. She's injured.
Okay. Yeah, she is. Liv Morgan, Lyra Valkyria. Maxine Dupree is still there, guys. Let's not forget about Maxine.
I'm sorry. Are you putting her in the title contendership? Is that what you're saying?
Tag team, potential tag team.
With who?
See, she can work with a veteran like Natalia. There we go.
No.
The legend herself. No. We got Nikki Cross. We got Rhea Ripley, Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, Zelina Vega. That's who it needs to be. Zoe Stark. That's the women's Raw roster.
Yeah. You know what? Read it again real quick. Read it again real quick.
Do you really want me to read it again?
Yes, I do.
Oh, man. Alba Fire, Asuka, Dakota Kai.
Tag team.
Isla Dawn.
Tag
Ivy
team.
Nile. Io Sky. Kairi Sane.
Tag team.
Katana Chance, Kaden Carter.
Tag team.
I can't. Valkyria. She's
single,
not in tag team.
One single. There you go. You got one.
Natalia, the legend.
One.
There we go. Two. Okay. Nikki Cross. She's not in the tag team. Rhea Ripley. She's not in the tag team.
Okay.
Zelina Vega's not in the tag team.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not. She's in a group.
Tagged with Natalia, and
that doesn't mean they're a tag team.
They
were just taking on the Pure Fusion Collective.
Doesn't Zelina
temporary bond?
Oh yeah, no, she is on roster.
I would like to see another woman join the LWO and Zelina go after tag team titles. She's being misused. I don't like her just being the LWO.
Yeah, I don't like that girl.
We got to do something with her. Let me read off the women's division in SmackDown. B-Fab, Bayley, Bianca Belair, Blair Davenport, Candice LeRae, Chelsea Green, Electra Lopez, Indy Hartwell, Jade Cargill, Michin, Naomi, Nia Jax, Piper Niven, Tegan Knox, Tiffany Stratton, and apparently
Tegan Knox is still on the main roster.
I was just about to say that she's on that roster. Are you
yes,
sure?
She's not released. She's still there.
They need to release her.
Come on, be nice. We don't need any more unemployed.
I don't want to be mean to her because it's just like because injuries are the reason why she's not where she should be right now. But it's just like, damn.
And
two
know what I was gonna say?
ACLs fucked her over. That's what really messed her up. Them ACL injuries killed her.
Yeah, and you know what I was gonna say? You know the reason why they brought back Natalya? To put her against whoever wins against Liv and Rhea, just so that she could pop up on another PLE and have a little feud.
Maybe in Canada, Vancouver, Survivor Series.
Exactly. I'm calling it right now.
It's the women's war game match. Yeah, Natalya's gonna be in it.
You want to know who we need? Alexa Bliss.
We do.
It's time. Where are you, Alexa Bliss? Where are you?
All these Y6 good things that you're getting, I think that's going to be her.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And I do think, I don't know if you guys saw it. It was that fire symbol. I think the Viking Raiders might be coming back. At least that's
yeah. That's what everyone's alluding to. Some people were saying it was the Lucha Bros who signed to WWE recently.
Oh,
they were saying that as well.
All right, so I actually have a rumor killer on that. So Ray Phoenix is actually still signed with AEW.
Damn.
He still has to deal with them. They're not signed with WWE yet. I'll say that much.
I've heard two stories. I've heard that Tony Khan wasn't gonna do the whole add time thing because you're out on injury. But then there was or they're not. So I don't know which is true or not. So
he probably rigged that so he can mess up WWE's plans. But it's like they're just gonna debut at the Royal Rumble or something. You're just setting yourself up. But yeah, Damage Control taking Storm. Let's get into the Dirty Dom part of the show. Dirty Dom to be in a shark cage for Liv Morgan versus Rhea at Bad Blood for the Women's World Championship. What do you guys make of this? Of course, I remember the lingering stories. That's what Vince McMahon wanted Ray and Eddie Guerrero to have a match with Dom in a shark cage at one point in time. So comes full circle. Of course, Liv and Dirty Dom arrived to the arena in a lowrider, paying tribute to Eddie Guerrero somehow, but not his father. What do you guys make of this? This is just the next level of this feud. Of course, we all thought this was going to happen at some point, but it's going to happen at Bad Blood. Well, what do you guys make of this match?
I mean, you had to get as close as possible to the custody of Dominic. So I guess this is the closest you can get, right? Him being in a shark cage, right? So you had to.
It's not SummerSlam, but it's close.
It's not SummerSlam, but it's close. First the custody of him was on the line. Now he's just going to be hanging there. So that's very interesting. But this feud, it's pretty much been the Terror Twins versus the Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
Hate that name, by the way, but at this point, I know I said with the Punk and McIntyre, with their feud, the more promos that I get from it, you want to keep them going. But with this feud, I just want to see the match at this point because it pretty much is what it is. Pretty much this story has pretty much told itself when Rhea Ripley came back from injury. I mean, you injured me, I injured you. Now I'm going to take everything from you. I mean, that's pretty much what the story has been for the last 3 months or so. So, I mean, at this point, you're going to get the same old segments from Liv with Dom right there, and how the crowd's going to react to Dom, and you already pretty much have the story told for you. So at this point, you just want to see the match, and hopefully that this match is pretty much the end of the feud, because I really don't see how else they can extend it if Liv were to retain. How else could you extend the feud?
Dom gets involved.
I see just the rest of the Judgment Day getting involved, like Carlito
and by the way, just because he's up in the shark cage doesn't mean he's going to get involved somehow. They always have.
They always somehow manage to get out. I forget what was the last shark cage match.
It was funny. It was at the Royal Rumble with Roman. I think it was Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho was in the cage. And I think he threw down KO some brass knuckles or some shit.
Yeah, it's always like. There was going to find a way to get out or help.
I remember China bent the bars. That was way back. Way back.
I don't know. This feud, I don't know. It hasn't for me. It hasn't been hitting like I think it did to that build up to SummerSlam. It felt more personal, and now that like obviously you had the Dom turn and everything. I don't know if it's because of all the fake like Rhea injuring her knee and everything, and they're trying to like throw that angle into it, like she's not 100, but she's cleared, but she's really not 100% or whatever. I don't know. I just don't. As much as I feel like Rhea should have the title, I don't see her winning it right now. I don't know why, but I don't know. I feel like there's just something missing from this feud. I don't know what it is, and like the shark cage thing is.
I think we're running out of ways
to keep her champ. I think.
Yeah, because we're looking at the element of we have the Dom turn. We knew that was coming. Yep. Now it's like, okay, how many matches can we continue to get out of this?
Exactly.
Before we're like, all right, Rhea's going to win the title at some point, right? Because she has to get her comeback, right? But it's like, I don't know. I think we're just looking for the next feud. I think that's what it is.
Or I see this ending in some type of like cage match. Doesn't have to be like Hell in a Cell, but I see a steel cage match between them. And I mean, you can still have interference, but
Dom as the special guest referee,
or him just coming over to open the door, and you have one of those she crawls out or whatever, like type thing. So,
yeah, I think we're just running. They're finding ways to try to keep it entertaining. So, for me, it's working because it's like I do understand the knee element because it's like you have to give Liv, who is undersized, not as strong, you have to give her some type of handicap to make her look believable in the ring, right? So, but overall, just I can't wait to see what happens. Dom in another situation, so we'll see what happens with that, man. Let's move over quickly to the SmackDown side of things. LA Knight's U.S. title run. I was checking this out. He defeated Santos Escobar. I believe that was his first title defense. Defeated a great match between him and Andrade. Looks like they're going to continue to go at it back and forth. But what do you guys think about his title run so far?
I'm a fan of it, and I think it works well for him. Like it's elevating him, still keeping him hot in the crowd, especially on SmackDown. Like he's one of the top guys there because he has the title, and I think it also is bringing up people like Andrade and Carmelo Hayes who are trying to make their mark and show out and be like, "Hey, look, I beat this guy. I'm doing great. Like, give me a title shot," And obviously, this is probably going to lead to a triple threat for that title. I see that coming soon. But I like that he's defending it more. It's obviously more than Logan Paul was defending it. So, we're seeing it.
It's already a win.
Exactly. We're seeing it like the IC. It's on week to week. It's there. And it's just, I think it's just it's uplifting the title. And then with uplifting the title and making it more prestigious, you get more people invested in it and obviously more TV time for people trying to get that title too. And have it elevate them as well. So
this is what mid-card title should be. And we've been seeing it with the Intercontinental title, and now we're seeing it with the U.S. title. I think that's a good thing. One note that I've been seeing on this, because I was looking up LA Knight's matches, and he's been wrestling Shinsuke Nakamura. So on the house show, and then I looked in Shinsuke, and I'm like, okay, Shinsuke has fought for the world title. He's teamed up with Cody and LA Knight and Kevin Owens. I'm looking at because Shinsuke has been forgotten basically, but he's been doing a lot of house show stuff that I'm seeing here. But it's just like that's cool that he's still.
They're probably holding him off before they bring him back to TV or something.
Yeah. He's not the only one. AJ Styles has been the exact same way.
Where the hell is AJ Styles? Hold on, let me look up AJ Styles since I have cage match records up. Where the hell is AJ?
Yeah, where is AJ Styles? Because
he's been in the title picture on house shows too.
On the house, put Shinsuke and AJ in a tag team. That would be sick. I love that. I'm not gonna lie.
You could have AJ and LA Knight feud again, because realistically, the feud that they had leading into WrestleMania, it was just the one match, and I think that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
So realistically, you can pick that up right where it left off, because that was personal. Them attacking each other at the WrestleMania press conferences and all that stuff at WWE Fanatic, whatever it was that they were doing.
Fanatics Fest or whatever.
The WrestleMania Fest, the fan fest that they normally do. They had attacked each other then, so you could pick up right then. Or you mentioned Nakamura. It's just that when you only got 5 hours of television a week for the main roster, and those two guys are on the 2-hour show, it's like you want to have them on, but it's just like you bring up the time for it.
Yeah, bring up the 3 hours, man. I'm for it.
Yeah.
Bring up the 3 hours.
Yeah, but his title run has been what it needed to be. This is the reason why people push fans push so hard for him to finally win the title.
You said he was a catchphrase, Daniel.
I liked LA Knight, but I felt like the natural progression should have been him winning a mid-card title and then getting those opportunities moving.
Like I said, you know what it was? Is that those months leading up to WrestleMania when Rock was back, those months of work kind of like hurt him because now people always comparing them to the Rock. Now you got the real thing on every week versus the parody, so to say, and I think that kind of like hurt his momentum a little bit. But now that Rock has been out of sight, out of mind, it's kind of helped him in a sense.
Yeah, yeah, but I've always liked LA Knight's work. Him building up. I feel like SmackDown's getting that old school type of feel where all these mid card guys like Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. Wasn't the Ludwig Kaiser? He fought LA Knight, right? Yeah, he did.
It was just that bash in Berlin.
Yeah. But it's just like I just like the nature of this mid card stuff happening. Even Ludwig Kaiser on Raw fighting Sami Zayn. I like that. I thought he looked great in that match. But let's just keep building up this mid card. We're seeing the mid card main event, so maybe LA Knight can do that at one point in time again. So just continue to build up that title run, and I felt like this was the right spot for him and the right natural progression for him. So we'll see what happens continuing with that. Let's move on to something juicy premiering tomorrow. Mr. McMahon documentary premieres tomorrow on Netflix. I don't know. It's a docu-series, so it's going to be multiple episodes. I don't know if it's going to release all at once. I don't know if the world can handle all of that at once.
I said they should.
But what are you guys making of this? I'm definitely going to be watching it tomorrow. What do you guys make of this docu-series that's going to premiere tomorrow about Vince McMahon, the now former owner of WWE?
All right, so if you were a wrestling fan, like back in the, as a matter of fact, you were a wrestling fan at all of the WWF from the golden era to the Attitude Era generation all the way to now, you need to watch this documentary. I even sent the link to my brother and my godbrother, and they only watch wrestling during the Rumble and WrestleMania. Now I even told them like, yeah, you guys need to watch this. because this guy is the reason why we have this podcast, the reason why all these other wrestling podcasts exist. People covering WWE.
Whoa! So are you saying this wrestling podcast wouldn't have existed if it was Eric Bischoff? Is that what you're saying?
We have a different conversation.
No, Eric Bischoff has even said himself that if WCW had ended up winning, that Turner Broadcasting wouldn't have had like a WCW network with WWE stuff on it. They would have just killed WWE and just left it dead, as opposed to what we did, still like showing the content and everything. But But looking forward to this documentary. I mean, I'm a huge documentary guy. When WWE used to release their stuff, when it's WWE on A&E, those documentaries. So I'm always interested in that stuff, and I'm interested in this because the fact that there's reports already coming out about it, people saying that people who want it to be a piece that comes at Vince McMahon, they aren't going to be happy about it. People who are kind of pro Vince McMahon, who wants the documentary for him to be seen in a good light, they're saying it's not like that at all. So it's going to be very unbiased. It's going to be very, very neutral. I saw another report today saying that like the documentary isn't going to reveal anything that we as wrestling fans already don't know. So that's going to be interesting. I just want them, honestly, I would love for them to just go into the decision to continue the show the night Owen Hart died. I would love for the documentary to touch on that, and I'd love for Vince to just explain that decision. And I already know he's going to probably talk about it from a business standpoint, but thinking back at it, if I'm a fan and I literally just saw somebody die, I don't think continuing it, regardless if I continue the show or not, I still witness somebody dying in front of me. So
there's so many. They said there's 200 hours of interviews that they went through talking about Vince in this one, and I can't wait to see it. Like the steroid trial, we all know about that with Hulk Hogan and the back in the day.
That's probably going to be a whole episode in of itself.
Facing the government. It's probably going to talk about how WrestleMania came about. That's a big pivotal moment in his career because he literally laid everything on the line for WrestleMania. Like if that didn't succeed, he would have been done. Like, it's going to be interesting to hear about the territory part, especially that part. If they get into depth about that, of how he got started and how basically his father kind of was like, I'm not going to face anybody in the territories. And then he overtook the territory. So all of it's going to go into all the history of that. I wonder if Linda's going to be in it. I wonder if Stephanie's going to be in it to that degree, especially with everything going on.
Okay. Question. What did you guys think about that little statement that Vince McMahon put out about the documentary?
What else is he supposed to say?
I guarantee there's info about his new charges or case or whatever that probably isn't going to paint him in the best light, and that's probably where, or there's going to be things where they like he did this in this situation or he did that in this situation, and it probably doesn't make him look like the best. And this is why I'm very excited, because I feel like we all know the mystique, we all know the on-screen character, we all know the stories, but it's also crazy to think how this guy works and how he's been doing it for so long, literally running every aspect of the business, to TV shows, to pay-per-views, and
nonstop.
Like you even hear it, like, and then you see him on Men's Health magazine, super jacked and everything. You're like, how is this dude still running at this pace? Is like, is he just on continuous cocaine? I don't know. He's found the way to make it work for him. I don't know. Like, to think how Vince operated, just like from the little clips I see, is like, yeah, he'd work all on Raw and then go work out and sleep for 3 hours and then do it all again. Like, how does someone like that still function and keep going and then create this monstrosity of a company? You know, it's like, I want to actually, and the first thing they show in the trailer is like, no one really knows who I am. So like to actually hear him talk maybe more about himself, how he does things, how he books things, how he used to book things. I don't know. I want to know more of that aspect. I am interested to see what they say about the allegations. I don't know if they'll actually
touch a light on that.
They'll just highlight it. Like, you know, it's all still ongoing. There's no, verdict or anything yet. So, I
mean, Netflix could have put the kibosh to this, and they didn't. Like WWE could have put like.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dan, but I found that very interesting about this whole thing. The fact that they're releasing it now, knowing months from now that the Raw is going to debut on Netflix, and it's like you just what was it? What was it? $2 billion deal. So you just signed with literally having WWE come on your platform, $2 billion, and literally now this documentary is coming out, which could like somewhat tarnish the legacy of the brand that you just paid $2 billion for. So
I mean,
that's why it's interesting.
Another thing about it is that WWE, I mean, Netflix has been losing money. That's another thing. They need to bring as many people, as many eyes to the product, to their product, even though Netflix has been one of the most successful companies that everyone uses Netflix. Who doesn't use Netflix, right? But in terms of people who potentially, they're still trying to figure out how to get new subscribers, new people to watch. Maybe this is the start of it. Hey, watch this documentary. Maybe you like wrestling. Maybe you don't. You attract new fans with it. People watch Netflix, just random shit on Netflix anyway. So it's like, if someone, an extra 5 million, 10 million people click to see this, maybe they get interested in subscribing, watching Raw. So I can understand it from that standpoint, but it's just like, usually when these type of scandals come out and stuff like that, companies usually pull the plug, and we've seen Netflix pull the plug on certain things that they don't want to continue. Yeah, and you see the production, you hear the people are filming, and then all of a sudden it just stops. Like many companies have done that. Yeah. So for them not to do this, they must have really figured out a way to be like, okay, we're going to paint both sides of this guy and make it fair. I think that's what they're ultimately going to try to do. Because as crazy, you need to be crazy to do this.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be crazy to do it how Vince did it, man. Like, it's not, I can't even imagine running a company that big every day. Every day.
But you know what, this whole situation, like you guys brought up the whole, you're bringing WWE to Netflix and then dropping a documentary on him. But I think it also shows the magnitude of post WWE without Vince, and to see the heights that it's been brought up to, the WrestleMania,
and what's
everything.
Like
it's hot again.
Almost like the documentary is going to be kind of like a close of that chapter.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like I say, like, here it is. This is what it was.
Here's what it was. Yep.
We get it. He's being sued right now, but here's what it was. But look at our product now.
Yeah.
And then this is just scathing because you hear all the stuff after. Like Randy Orton, he did an interview and he was like, yo, I can actually take time off and spend time with my family and not have to worry about my job security or anything like that. Like you hear about all the morale boosts behind stage, people getting opportunities. I think even in interviews, one of his best people, Undertaker, who has been by Vince forever, has kind of tried to distance himself in little ways, like through interviews and stuff like that. So it's like, it's very telling that people are trying to separate themselves from Vince. But yeah, this is the guy, right? In wrestling, right? Like when you think of like wrestling, you think of Vince. You of course, people are going to mention Hulk Hogan and stuff like that, but even Hulk Hogan's name has been sullied, right? To a certain point where it's like, we don't need to even talk about Hulk Hogan anymore. But one person that we're always going to talk about is Vince. For as long as we go, if you're a wrestling fan and a person who cares about the business, you're going to talk about Vince in some capacity. Even when Vince was gone, we still talked about him.
I'm still curious of the night when all the like when he came out and just says welcome. I don't know if it was like welcome to SmackDown or welcome to Raw, and then just walked right back out. It was
that was when it first broke and all that stuff. Yeah.
When they came back, that's when they came back from COVID. He's like,
the dude was fighting. The dude was fighting at WrestleMania. The dude was fighting at WrestleMania after that stuff came out. He didn't care. Yeah. He didn't care, man.
Yeah, I was like, because that was the thing. They were like, "Oh, the allegations came," but I think this was when the first one.
That, the first one,
paid money, not the details.
Yeah.
It was just that. I think it obviously was worse when all the details came on. That's where everybody's like, "Well, what do you think about it?" And they're like, "I can't comment on that. I don't know enough."
And especially when you think about the stuff he's going to address all the wrestlers' deaths, like even from back in the day and stuff like that, from steroids, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, things of that nature. Yeah. What are his thoughts on that?
Sorry.
Another element is like Chris Masters with that whole not Chris Masters, Krista Nowinski, the guy that went to Harvard. He was the school guy on TV, and he went to like study CTE and stuff like that, and brains and stuff like that, and the effects wrestling has on the body.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to come up in that, like that whole thing. Like it's going to be crazy, man. There's so much stuff with Vince. Like there's positive things in terms of the creation and the hustle that he has and the work hour and the work rate that he puts in. But then we're going to hear about some unsullied things about working conditions, workers' rights, like all that stuff it's going to get crazy, man. It's going to get crazy, but I can't wait. That premieres tomorrow. Of course, we were all trying to wait until midnight to watch it, but it's not going to premiere until 3:00 in the morning. We're going to need to get some sleep, but I'm definitely going to be watching it tomorrow. And again, I'm wondering if it's going to be, they're just going to drop the whole series, or it's going to be a week-to-week thing to keep the views up. I don't know, but I can't wait to see it, man. This is, again, when you think of wrestling, you think of Vince, you think about his height and what he's created. Hopefully we can get some good nuggets and hear some great things from him. And I don't know where they're going to navigate this or how they're going to navigate it and turn it. But it's going to be an interesting watch, man. Can't wait to see it. Especially as wrestling fans, man. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Man. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. That's all.
To say the least. So we can't wait to see that. But that will do it for this episode 79. WWE has been cooking for real. This documentary that's about to come out, so we're definitely gonna have to talk about that. I believe Ryan and John are gonna join us next week as well as we make our picks. But we have to talk about this documentary, because it's groundbreaking, man. It's groundbreaking. But that will do it for this show. As always, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for watching, tuning in. Remember, always kick out on 2. And until next time.